attending services. He continued to double down on his innocence and also addressed growing calls for him to resign. Political reporter Kelly Mena has been following the mayor and joins us now with more. Kelly, it seems like the mayor continues to surround himself with these supporters amid this investigation.
Hi, Shannon, that's right. Surround himself with supporters and continue to lean on his faith. Earlier today, we were with him at a Brooklyn church. While there, he remained defiant about his ability to stay and lead the city. At one point, Mayor Adams said, "Hard times don't destroy us, they fortify us." Adams also weighed in on that Marist poll where many New Yorkers say the mayor should step down. Let's listen in. You say the poll is wrong then?
No, I think New Yorkers, as in any time when you get one side of an issue, you have a tendency to look at that side of the issue. Now it's an opportunity, as this plays out, that they will see both sides of the issue. And New Yorkers are going to continue to see a mayor that was elected to move the city forward, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the city forward.
And should note that those that were in attendance at that church earlier today were very grateful to see the mayor and continue to support him. Then after visiting that church, he came down to Lower Manhattan and visited a synagogue. As he was going inside, he told reporters that he does have a conversation planned with Governor Hochul later today. He did not provide any details, but we do know that the governor has told the mayor that he needed to clean up his administration amid his ongoing indictment. The mayor had this to say about any other departures from his administration.
What's important to me is those who are here, like my 4 deputy mayors, they're able to carry out their portfolio. And that's what they're doing. They've done an amazing job thus far. And in my conversations with them, let's keep doing the work that we're doing.
And it's unclear if we'll see any resignations either later today or this weekend, but we know that the mayor is under pressure to make sure that he keeps his administration running and being able to continue to run the city. Shannon, back to you.
Kelly, thank you so much. A new Marist poll out today shows that more than 2/3 of city voters want Mayor Adams to resign in the wake of his indictment on federal corruption charges. With the story behind the numbers, here's New York One's political reporter Bernadette Hogan.
I'm going to step up. I'm going to step up. I'm not going to resign. I'm going to reign.
New Yorkers say otherwise. A new Marist College poll released Friday shows that most city voters have soured on Mayor Eric Adams after learning he's facing a 5-count criminal indictment. 69% of voters say the mayor should resign, compared to 29% who prefer he serve out the rest of his term.
I mean, what we see is just how quickly this poll follows on the announcement of the indictment, and you know, he's clearly not getting the benefit of the doubt from voters. I mean, there's been a quick and negative reaction to him.
59% of black voters want him to step down, as do 67% of Latino voters and 72% of white voters.
The numbers speak to what a representative cross-section of New Yorkers think, not necessarily the people he's going to rally around him for, an immediate event.
After being indicted on charges including bribery, wire fraud, and solicitation of donations from foreign nationals, Adams has surrounded himself with supporters.
Well, maybe he should step down. No.
But the poll shows he has just a 26% job approval rating.
He can find people who are, those who are going to sing his praises. But when it comes to the court of public opinion, when it comes to a representative sample of New Yorkers, there is no single group that is really in his corner.
Meanwhile, nearly 2/3 of voters want Governor Kathy Hochul to begin the process to remove Adams from office, a power available to her under city and state law.
He obviously says he can do both. Right now, when you look at his numbers, nearly 3/4 of New Yorkers are familiar with what's going on, so it's not a question of them having to suddenly discover something.
Adams needs many more voters on his side, as he's still preparing for re-election. But most voters also want him out of next year's race.
In the vernacular of New Yorkers, they're saying forget about it. I mean, this is just that bad.
And Bernadette joins me now with more on all of this. Okay, Bern, 69% of New Yorkers, it's a decent amount of New Yorkers who think that he needs to go. So can he gain back that trust from these New Yorkers?
Well, it depends. I mean, it's a cross-section of New Yorkers. Many people surveyed here. We have Black voters, Latino, white voters, and those throughout a range of ages, under 45, over 45, over 60% saying we would like him to resign.
Yeah, and Governor Cuomo, of course, someone who has a lot of name recognition, is someone who's being discussed as a possible person to step into the role next or run for the role next. Somewhat surprising results of this. 55% said they don't want Cuomo to run for office. Considering his popularity in New York, what did you make of these numbers?
Well, it's interesting that the former governor, who has, again, he resigned in the middle of his third term in 2021 following allegations of sexual harassment. But when voters are asked, do you want Mayor Adams to run for re-election, just below 20% say yes. Andrew Cuomo, if he were to jump in the race, has a higher number at the 44%.
Got it. You also touched on in your piece the demographics. A majority actually of Black and Latino voters also said he should resign, which is interesting to point out because that's a big portion of where his support comes from.
Right. It's a reliable base. It's a moderate base. As you've seen over the past couple of days, the mayor has gone to Black churches. He's been out in those communities that came out for him in 2021. But just because you're seeing the mayor with supporters does not necessarily mean that that was representative of the larger section of New Yorkers. These numbers are pretty bad for him.
And also, Mayor Adams has said, and his attorney has said, they want this to be a speedy trial. It does not look like it's going that way, at least for now, because of this new information that we're getting in, that classified information is potentially part of this investigation. What kind of role could that play, and how could this filing affect the state of the investigation?
Right. So prosecutors said, listen, we would like a private hearing or a private meeting where we can discuss this because we would not like to put this into the public light. It could end up delaying the trial. Prosecutors indicated that in the filing, and this has happened in the past. It's a federal statute dealing with classified documents. It happened with former President Donald Trump in his specific documents case and the seizure of those documents at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Whether or not that plays out, that could end up slowing down the trial, but we don't know exactly what information is within these documents that prosecutors have available to them. Again, that's one of the reasons why they say, we would like to talk about this in private.
Right. They say, we don't know what it is, but it's something that would jeopardize national security potentially. All right, Bernadette, thank you. You can catch Bernadette and the entire political team